Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop Halloween Edition. I'm Pat Baer. I'm your little devil, and I'm here to build a Lego set and a model kit. I'm throwing the Bear Cave Lego the site emote in the chat. Let me know if you're here. We know the call unit is here because let us know. You can throw the Bear Cave Lego Scythe emote back at me, Scythe if you're tier 2. Or you can just say hi. We are going to be here in the intro portion of the stream. Ristafan is here saying spooky. Indeed. Ristafan is here, and we're hanging out. We're going to wait for a few more folks to join us before we get into the building portion of the stream, of course. We're going to start with a Lego set. Bald Ridge is here. Hey, Bald Ridge, welcome, welcome. Happy to have you here. And tonight, yes, we will be talking about Halloween's past and future. We'll be talking about, I don't know, whatever comes up. Of course, talking about anime that I watched in the last couple days, because that's what we do. Dirty wants me to hit that gong. Hi, Dirty. Dirty announces themselves by cluing in for the gong. Lord Crashton is here. Hey, Lord Crashton. And here is our first gong of the night. Well, that's just spooky. So yeah, thank you for using your channel points for that. I appreciate it. And, oh, Lord Crashton also redeems that gong. Okay, it's another gong time. There we go. That's the second gong. All right, appreciate it. Ooh, a little residual gong there as I went to go put this away. Thank you very much for using your channel points. I appreciate that. Glad to be of service. Again, we're in the hangout portion of the stream here, the intro. One thing I will point out, a double gong indeed. I like about this Lego set, we're doing a Lego set, the Lego bricks, brickheads, I should say, Ghost. Comes with a little jack-o'-lantern. Cute little jack-o'-lantern. That's fun. This kit should be pretty should be pretty easy to put together. Not too many pieces. I haven't done Lego in a hot minute, so I'm excited for that. And then, of course, we'll jump into the Uraven kit and start with the core unit 2, which is right here. We're working on the core unit, but then we have to build the armor that goes over it, and then take that stuff apart to show how it's the armor that goes over it can fly in and has a transformation, which is pretty neat. Also, to treat myself, probably at the halfway point, I will indulge by having a Nestle Crunch. That's right. I got a little bit of candy, and I'll be eating that. I'll be breaking a core rule of Build with Bear, and a rule that I've never spoken out loud about before, as far as I know. I have not eaten on stream before. I at one time contemplated doing a nugget challenge, a McDonald's Nuggets challenge, in a charity stream. I have not pulled the trigger on that. I still might someday. I don't know if I could do the Centurion. Also, as many of you know, I'm currently staying with my folks because of 2020, and I definitely don't think I can pull that off here. In front, like just getting them and then explaining that. I don't think that's going to fly. It'd be one thing, when I lived by myself or with a roommate. It's another when you got family around. Trying to explain, like, okay, so I'm getting 100 nuggets, and I'm going to try to eat one a minute and do it in 100 minutes. And they're going to be like, don't. It'll be like, yeah, you're right. I shouldn't. But I have contemplated doing some sort of nugget challenge. Maybe not the Centurion, because that's a lot. I gotta eat. I gotta eat food for the internet. So yeah. It's a hard thing. It's a hard sell. The same thing with like. I'm not going to be doing an extra live stream this year, but I am planning to guest on at least one stream, and I'm trying to guest on a bunch and help people out. But like doing my own like marathon, like I've never done more than 3 hours of a stream. But even the idea of doing more than that is just like, oh yeah, it is a bad idea. Why would I do this? It's a hard explanation. My family came over today and they just left. Says Kyle. I started turning off all the lights in the house before my wife told me it's 7:30. Guess I'm pretty tired then. Yeah, I mean, family will do that. Guests will do that, especially in our current world here. Pat Baer afraid to take the getting judged by his parents challenge. I mean, it's not the judgment part. It's the concern. It is worrying people. Um, Also, it's the Pat doesn't want to have the hard conversations of like what this life entails and what Pat doesn't want to explain what a mukbang is. No, the T. I know that you were being, you weren't being, you were being a little facetious there, and I totally understand. I picked up on it. Sometimes it's hard with the written word to get that, but I did get that. Yeah, no, it's mostly just like I don't want to explain that there's a whole category of the internet of food or like anything like that. But I have thought like, okay, well, maybe I could do like a mini version, like get 10 nuggets or something and like see how fast I can eat those. Like that's fine. Uh, I did a hot sauce shot stream. Explain that to my wife was fun. Yeah, Baldrige, I can imagine that being an interesting conversation. All right, so we're gonna get into our Lego build here in a minute. I'm gonna retweet my tweet uh, out there that also include me revealing what my costume was here because I have costume. Oh boy. Let's see here. Great. Got some nice responses to my tweets today, which I appreciate. I included a photo, which I should add into the discussion here. So let me add this photo in. We'll go to the overhead, see the ghost here, and then let me real quick add in a photo. So yeah, we're doing this ghost. This was my costume 2 years ago when I still had a job. This is the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater East, former location of that. And this is my Lego costume. Now, is this a piece of cardboard, a string, and 6 solo cups that I put some tape over where it says solo and then taped it together and then spray painted the whole thing? Yes, that is exactly. Yes, Aristovan, it is a little ghost friend. We'll see that there. Did I do that? Yes, that's this costume. Now, it was my original plan to have it rest on my shoulders and have cardboard go back and there be cardboard on the side. And instead of just hanging over my stomach, make it like more of a box feel. Yes. Did I pull that off? No. So then I then pivot to just making it a piece of cardboard and make it like that. Yes, I did pivot in that costume. But that's one of my most successful crafting projects in the amount of time it took and the cost, because all I had to do was buy spray paint and because the cups I got and the cardboard I got and the string I got from work. And then here's the best part. My boss at the time was like, "Do you have the receipt for the spray paint?" And I was like, "Yes." And she bought it off of me because she was like, "Well, we'll just use it here. We'll make it a business expense. You barely used it. What are you going to do with spray paint?" And I was like, "Awesome." So my costume was free. I dressed up as Ms. Frizzle for my scary stream last night, says Ball Ridge. Dressing up is always a blast. Hell yeah. Is that the Ranking of Fighters shirt? That is very good eye, Unit. Kalu Unit, noticing I'm wearing the Ranking of Fighters shirt there. It is. That's a great shirt. That was a very comfortable shirt. I don't have it right now. It's in storage. Did not make the cut. But yeah, that is a great shirt and great eye. But yeah, that costume was free. It only required me making it, so that was pretty good. That's probably my best. I have a creative costume. Actually, let me see if I can find my most creative, because I didn't post this. Let me find. We're gonna build Lego, y'all. But now it's share time. My best costume. I think it's in my Facebook memories. I didn't post it because it takes a lot to explain it. So I'm just going to, but I'll do that here. Let me just go and get these photos off of my Facebook and put them in. Okay, so context. We'll get rid of this first, and then I'll go into context. Context. Deleted. Great. Context. This is the house team wall. It was a poster of the photos of the teams that performed at the theater. I worked in the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater East, Lloyd teams. I'm not going to explain what a Lloyd team is, but these are house teams. These are house improv teams, right? So this was on the wall. I went to their Facebook pages and got 6 of these photos, printed them out, and then attach them to my person in order to become the Lloyd team poster. And you can see here's me, and also there's the actual thing that I took a photo of there. And so then I just safety pinned the photos to my body and wore all black. And that is like the most, and I had to like one team. I had to like look in everyone's Facebook to find it. I couldn't find the photo. I didn't want to ask anyone. I just wanted to do it. That year, Halloween was on the night those teams performed, so 3 of those teams were there, and that felt like a fun little thing. This was because we originally were everyone that worked that night was going to do a group costume, and then we decided last minute not to do a group costume, and I needed a costume because I was at work, so I put that together very last minute. There was another theater in New York, the People's Improv Theater, the Pit, and the folks that work there they all dress in black and wear either a red tie or a red bow tie, or some wear red suspenders but little red accents. And so we were all going to do that. We were all going to have like a little bit of red and wear all black, and that was going to be our Halloween costume, was as if we were employees at the other theater. And then like the night before, people decided they didn't want to do that, and I was like, but I didn't get a costume together. So then I just made that costume, and it's I mean, like I said, that's why I'm saying the other costume was more creative than this, because this is like, I mean, I tried. It was fine. And then another year, I just bought whatever. Last year, I did not make a costume because I was home. I believe I streamed, and I didn't do anything. Maybe I didn't stream, but I did the night before. I can't remember, but I didn't go out. So I just wore. I have a Jedi robe, and so I just put the Jedi robe on because I wanted to have a costume. Of course, this year found this in a closet. Folks had this. They have an angel halo and some horns, and I was like, this is my costume this year. Let's get to building. We're working on a Lego thing. Yeah, we got some spooky stuff. We got a spider, and we got a bat friend. And then we're gonna build this Lego thing. But yeah, had a little bit of candy today. Didn't watch anything scary or spooky. Last night, oh boy, I went to a Zoom Halloween party. A friend of mine did a Zoom thing. We all hung out and kind of chatted. It was like, I don't know, about 10 of us, lots of couples, people I don't talk to that often. It was nice to catch up with some folks. And a couple people dressed up. Not everyone. A couple people did. And then we left the Zoom call, and we all did a watch party on Amazon, and we watched the Paul Lynde Halloween special. You may know Paul Lynde as an actor and comedian, famous for like Hollywood Squares and those kind of shows. He eventually became like a personality, and he would do holiday specials. He had a Christmas special that was really great, and he had this Halloween special. And this Halloween special is very 1970s. Most of the sketches have nothing to do with Halloween. They're clearly just repurposed from someone wrote, like Bruce Vilanch wrote some sketches, and they kind of like tie them together. The Wicked Witch of the West appears as the Wicked Witch of the West, which is very odd. It's a strange thing. It is the United States television debut of Kiss. Kiss performs 3 songs, and one of those songs is Beth. And I forgot, like, because I've seen this, like, I saw this like years and years ago. The voice of the rat in Charlotte's Web cartoon. Indeed, Aristophan. He was the voice of the rat. Yes, indeed. That is Paul Lynde. So I forgot completely that Kiss was in it. There's some good cameos. There's a Betty White is briefly in it. It's kind of fun. There's some gags. There's some stuff that falls very flat. Yes, their music. Yes, Lord Crashington. They did one song that was kind of spooky. That was not a hit, but it was spooky. And then they did a song that was just like, I'm going to love you tonight or whatever. But in the middle, it's Peter Criss in front of a piano, or behind a piano, I should say, playing the piano and singing Beth, which, if you've never heard Beth, it's a lovely song. And it's a guy in cat makeup singing this song about how, like, hey, I miss you a lot, but I'm on the road, and oh, I got to stop writing this letter or calling you because the guys are coming and we got to go to the next town. Uh, and it's just like one of the lines is like, Beth, what can I do? It's like, what do you want from me? This is my life now. And it's a lovely little tune. Um, and then, but it fit very weird. Everything in this special fit incredibly weird, and I don't know what it was doing there. There's a disco song and dance. There's a sketch about two guys fighting over a girl. There's another one. I will say this. There is indeed brownface in it. Paul Lynde puts on makeup to look Arabian because he is an Arabian knight trying to woo a lady, a British lady. And that sucks ass. And also, let me just say, completely unnecessary, especially for television in the 70s. You didn't need to put makeup on because it wasn't like you're really going to see it. Like, it's low def, y'all. Unnecessary and weird. Very weird. That's probably the part of the thing that is the most like, fucking yikes. On the positive side, there are two witches. Also, Witchy Poo, I forget her name. The witch from HR Puffin stuff is also there. I forget her actual name. She's the other witch. So there's a bit where they ask him to host the party. And he's like, okay, I'll host this party. And they're like, yeah, tell some jokes. And there's a recurring thing where he sets up the joke. He does his top. And one of the witches steals the punchline. And that's a good bit. That bit holds up. And then at one point they don't take the punchline away from him, and the joke falls very flat. And they're like, that one wasn't good. Which is, it was pretty funny. But as I said, overall, that's a pretty good special. It's on Amazon if you want to watch it. I forgot my favorite part. So Kiss is, Kiss does their second song, which is Peter Criss behind the piano singing Beth. I love it when a drummer comes out from behind the piano or comes out from behind the drum kit and does a song. It's very fun. So he does that song. And at the end, the other guys in Kiss come around because it's like they're going to transition to a commercial. And like, they're all just like, oh, yeah, good job. And then like, you see Gene Simmons like clap for his friend and bandmate. And it's just like, it's just nice. It's just a sweet little moment. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. That is a weird thing. But it was nice to like see people and hang out. And then we like and chat about stuff. It was like, I don't know. It doesn't take the place of seeing my friends. Not that I was necessarily going to go to a Halloween party this year if not for COVID, but who knows? I might have been working, or something. Might have covered a shift or gone to a party, or I probably would have streamed anyway. It's a Saturday night. I like streaming on Saturdays. I don't like breaking my my streaming schedule, as many of you know. The next planned Thursday off for this stream, the next time I will definitely not stream on a Monday, Thursday, or Saturday, is going to be Thanksgiving. Because even though it's just going to be me and my folks, and maybe a couple that's in our bubble, I think, I'm still not going to stream that day. So if you thought you were going to come to a Pat Baer Thanksgiving stream, that's not going to happen. But I will not do a bonus stream that week, and instead that Wednesday I will do a stream. All right, now we're going to put the insides. Ooh, spooky. The insides of our ghost. Ooh, cool. I do love this in Lego. We are going to completely enclose these colored pieces. These nice bright colored pieces are going to be fully encapsulated within our kit. Spooky. But yeah, I I think that's the plan for Thanksgiving is that I will do my stream anyway, but it'll be Wednesday. I'll just do a build stream because I want to be able to still get my streams in that week. But and I just won't do a bonus stream. And instead, we'll do that. And I think that works out okay. Ooh, we got to put some clear on here. I did know all this in advance. As I said, there's not a lot. This year is a good test how much you trust family during the holidays. Well, that's the thing, right? Indeed. So for me, it's we've got some family that invited us to drive up and see them, and we decided to pass around Thanksgiving. Not that I don't necessarily trust these folks to do a good job, but they've got young kids who are, and I don't know if they're going to school or not in their area, but that's a thing. I think they're working from home, but it's there is, there are some health concerns to take into consideration with the family, and I am doing my best to take those under consideration and make sure that we're doing well. Around Christmas time, it's going to be interesting. The hope is nobody. Our bubble right now is like pretty damn small and good, and we trust everybody. Like there's another couple my mom walks with the wife every day, and they're very close friends. And my dad and the husband hang out a lot, but they don't really hang out with anyone. I don't think they hang out with anyone else at all. And there's another couple who just came back. They went up to see their daughter and had a kid, and so they went up to be with them in I don't know, upstate New York for a while, and they just recently decided to come back down. So right now, our bubble is very small, and everyone's doing what they need to do, which is good. But it is, yeah, because it's down to like, well, are your families doing the right thing? And like, I'm hearing, I am not in, but I am near a area that has a lot of tourism. So that is a concern. That if people are like, well, I'm not going to be with my family, but I don't want to be home anymore, I'll go to this place in South Carolina. And also, an issue that is happening is people like to come to places and then just act a fool. They'll just be real foolish about stuff because they are on vacation, and suddenly that is a license to be very foolish. And that fucking sucks. And I wish people would cut that shit out. Because not only do they put people at risk here, service people that they come in contact with, people at hotels, stuff like that, then they go home and get sick. And then people are like, oh, don't come to this place. Oh, that's what happened. They got it there. And it's like, well, yeah, because they were acting foolish when they got down here because they weren't wearing their masks and they were going out in public too often. We're just acting goofy. It's a lot. It's a lot of bad. But, I think that is a fine thing. Like, you're I will say obviously we're all in our bubbles, right? We all have our bubble, not that kind of bubble, the social bubble, right? Of like you only see you have cultivated your social media to see whatever. I will say today I have seen a lot of photos of people in their costumes in their apartments, and I have seen very little photos of people being like, "Hey, it's me in my costume, out and about, doing my thing. Hey, here I am at a Halloween party. Hey, here." So it either people are, at least within my bubble, people are being much more cautious, or they are realizing they can't talk about that stuff on social media without getting people being like, "What are you thinking? What are you doing?" Like, I'm sure, obviously, there are people who are at Halloween parties right now. They went on Halloween parades. They went and hung out. Maybe their area is safe. Maybe they're keeping their distance from people. Or maybe they're just being incredibly foolish. Not every part of the United States, obviously not every part of the world is in the same shape. But it certainly is a concern. All right, so we're going to put this here. All right. Put this there. We're working on our ghost. Yeah, it's anybody dressing up. I know I saw earlier um, that Bald Ridge did a Ms. Frizzle last night. That's fun. Anybody else put together a costume uh, like my illustrious devil costume that I am rocking today? Pat Baer, your little devil for one night only. Yeah, is anybody rocking any costume? Let me know. We'd love to hear. Or if you're like, my costume is I put pants on today. That's also great. Or I went to work and didn't put a costume on. That's also cool. Do not mind that. But I like hearing from y'all, like knowing what you're up to. So feel free to let me know in the chat. There. Put that there. It's looking good. Got our ghost here. Our ghost is coming together. Lord Crashes didn't work, so no energy for that kind of stuff. Totally understand. As I said before, was not necessarily thinking about wearing a costume, but ended up doing so because had access to this. I wasn't going to purchase anything like that, but had access to this costume and decided, hey, you know what? Let's go for it. Put this here. I believe this is the back of our ghost. Aristophan says, we had some family in our bubble coming over. I'm dressed as Peter B. Parker from Into the Spider-Verse. Spider shirt, jacket, sweats, and mismatched shoes. Heck yeah! I'm Peter B. That's fun. I like that. Yeah, that is a little. It's a little casual cosplay. You gotta have the spider shirt and all that, but it is that is cool. I like that. Good job, Aristophan. But yeah, obviously, times are weird, and maybe this is not the year for a costume for you and yours, and I get that. All right, let's get this ghost face on. But yeah, if you dressed up, you let me know in the chat. Love to see it. There, and then we're gonna put some stuff on here so that we can get some face going on our ghost. All right, and then we'll get some eyes going here. Get that there. We'll look at there. I saw they got Miles Spider-Verse costume in the new game, complete with the stop-motion style. Yeah, that I believe is that is a pre-order bonus. Which are we still fucking doing that shit? Really, we're gonna start the next. We're gonna start the next gen, the new gen. We are gonna start that with not enough games, and one of those games it being available also on the other platform, previous platforms, and then also having like, well, did you pre-order it? Well, then you don't get this cool shit. It's like, okay, cool. This is a great year to fucking pre-order. Fun. It does look fucking rad. I think it's an early unlock for pre-order, so you can unlock it normally. Well, Lord Crashington, that is great. It still sucks if you're like, oh, I want to play as this Miles, but if you can also unlock it in the game, that's cool. That's honestly that's all I ask. Like, just let it you be able to get it. I think that those days where it was like, well, if hey, for this Batman game, you get this at this place, and you get, well, if you wanted him to look like the animated series, you got to order it from GameStop. But if you get it from Best Buy, you get this costume, and it's like, well, what? Why? Fucking let me unlock it. It sucks. What if this is a bad game? Then like fuck you. All right, now we got to put some stuff on here. We're building the base. We got our spooky base here for our ghost to go on. There's always a nice little stand on these kits. And we got some lovely looking green to put on here. Looks good. So we'll do that. But yeah, I try not to pre-order games. Okay, you want to play online? Well, you need to put in the code for your online pass. Oh yes, Call Unit, the online pass, of course. Gotta have that online pass. Doesn't work without it. Like, nowadays, the only thing you get is, wait, that game's out? I didn't see it on Steam. Oh, it's only on Epic. And I will say this. If Epic's store was better at not not content-wise, but in use. If its UI was better, then I would definitely not complain. But I do think that using the Epic Store, using the launcher and all that, like, it is not a great experience. But also, I remember when Steam is certainly not great, but I remember when Steam was basically unusable for a very long time. So maybe they'll get better at it. But yeah, nowadays people are just like, oh wait, your game's out. It didn't ping my wish list. It's like, oh yeah, no, timed exclusive. Oh, okay. Put this here. Boom. And then we get a little thing here. Bam. Okay. Hey, it's just a barrel. It's just a gray barrel. You know, gray barrels. We all seen those in Lego. It's a barrel with a bone in it. I don't know why, but it is there. Just got a big bone. It's good. I don't know if when I do my free build, which is I think gonna happen in November, I'm gonna be doing a Lego build out of my own mind. I'm gonna build a mech out of Lego. I don't think the bone will end up being a part of that kit. Got to put those bones somewhere, yeah. But now that I have a bone, it might end up in this kit. I do not know. I don't know. I feel like I probably need to put that in the kit. Oh, and then we're going to put this. Oh, that's where the jack-o'-lantern goes. Nice. Ooh, now, because the jack-o'-lantern is see-through because it's hollow. So we put it over a black minifig head, and then it looks sinister. Cool. Bone sword for the mech. Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe my mech will just hold a bone. I don't know. But it feels like I definitely need to think about including that. It would be silly for me not to, now that I have it. I have access to a bone. Might as well use it. But yeah, that is a November project, I'm thinking. Because I do want to be able to get a bunch of model kits, but towards the end of the year, shipping takes longer for things to arrive. Money's going to be tight for everybody, including me. So that might be the good time to just go into my big envelope of Lego, which I have actually here. I just got a whole lot of Lego. In here from Lego bits, parts, kits, I should say. So, oops. So my thought is I can do my first ever like free kit. Just kind of like, decide what I'm going to build, kind of like go off on my own tangents. And the idea is to build a mech. Because I've done a bunch of vehicles, so I have enough stuff, I think, to make something particularly cool. I just need, a little inspiration. But yeah, I think I can make a mech with like wheels on the legs and big backpack and just kind of have a good time with it. That's the plan right now. We'll see what happens, but that is the plan. Then I was thinking November would be a good time to do that. As I said, as we get into the holidays. Right now, my backlog is I have 2 master grades from the early 2000s, and that's my backlog, except for obviously the Uraven kit here, which we'll be working on when this is done. We'll go back into that. But yeah, okay, so now we're building something else here. Can't remember what this is, but we'll get going on it and put these things together. So my Halloween stuff has always been kind of odd because for a number of years, I talked about this before, I worked on a comedy show that ran on Halloween, and then we would have like a Halloween party as the cast party after the last show. So I did that for a number of years, and then when I wasn't doing that, I would be teching some holiday shows, other shows, and I would often dress up for a show or for that night. I would often wear a costume for the last couple of years, and then last year I think I streamed either the day before or that day, and I wore whatever. And this year I'm just putting something together. So it's been a little while since I had like a place to go on Halloween and plans. One of the things I really loved doing was when I had my job at Upper Citizens Brigade Theater East. it was on Avenue A, and in New York, and so a lot of kids would walk up and down Avenue A and go to the businesses. Um, and I would get a lot of candy and just go and get big bags of candy. I'd buy them on Amazon or go to a grocery store that was right there and get big old bags of candy, and then dump them all into a bucket, a big like fire water bucket, um, and then stand outside because that way they didn't come in the building, they didn't go into the bar side or just whatever, and I would just hand out candy to kids. If Halloween was on a night that I wasn't working, I would just go in and do it, and that was very satisfying. It was very fun to be able to go and be the candy man and hand out candy. Uh, and then I would get reimbursed, which was very nice. But that, of course, wasn't necessarily the plan, the modus operandi. But it worked out great that way. That was very fun to just be like, yeah, I got candy. Here you go. All right, so we got to put the spider, Spooky, and the bat on here, and this is on an angle. Oh, this is like a tombstone kinda. This is going for like a tombstone kind of thing, I think, but not a full tombstone. That's fine. I'll just hold. This bone does not want to stay in, obviously, but yeah, you can see that there. Good little set. Oh yeah, I can always just look at the photo. Duh. I forget that sometimes that I have a photo on the stream the whole time, and I could use that as reference. I always look in the booklet for reference, but I don't have to. Again, this is a Lego set, so it comes with some extra pieces, which is nice. Appreciate that. We love that here, but we don't need those at the moment. And now it's time to put our ghost. You may notice that these are clear here to denote that you can see through it, so that it is not there. So you just use your suspension of disbelief and say like, oh, there's no white pieces there. This ghost is floating, and here it is. It's a ghost that keeps falling off the stands. We'll do it like that. It's a ghost that does not want to stay on its stand. So let me get this dang thing on its stand. There it is. It is a ghost. It very much does not want to stay on its stand. So if you end up getting this kit someday, just know that. Drunk ghost, yeah. All right, I got to take a photo of this, and then I'm going to have a piece of candy. But I got to take a photo so that I can post the photo later. You know how it goes. Got to post this photo. Got to keep up. I did include, I had my my tool here, the building tool, which we did not need, but you never know. Maybe I would have needed it. Maybe I would have goofed this thing up. And what's going to happen right now is I'm going to have a little candy because I finished a model kit. And so it's time for candy. Put that aside. What's the candy? Oh, it's just Nestle Crunch. It's just a fun-sized Nestle Crunch. That's a good time. I'm just going to have a little candy. I'm going to go back over to the intro portion here. Have a little candy. Maybe you want to have a little water. Maybe you want to have some candy. You bought yourself a little bit of candy here and there. Maybe that's not your thing. I'll say this. I rarely, if ever, have candy. It is not, I don't think about it. I'm not looking for sweet. Lashbrook says, sorry I was late. I was watching that hot new anime, The Mandalorian. Hell yeah. I hope you enjoyed The Mandalorian. We made this ghost. Lashbrook, it's spooky scary. It's a ghost. Spooky. Growing up, realizing the fun size is appropriate and king size is way too much. Yes, indeed. But a bunch of these, you can just eat a couple of these and not feel bad about it. You might even eat a king size amount of these and not feel bad. But if you eat half a king size, you're like, oof to doofa. Yeah, I haven't seen Mandalorian this season, but yeah, I heard good things. Anyway, cheers everybody. I'm gonna mute my mic for a second and eat a candy bar. Harold is now hosting the stream. Thank you. Moment of silence to the candy bar. Lord Crashington, I'm just not going to chew food on mic like this and be mic like this. I just can't do it. Harold, thank you for the host. Appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. We finished our Lego Ghost. There's our Ghost. Our Ghost is done. We finished our Lego Ghost. And it's fun set. And now we're going to work on the Uraven. We will take a pause for the call. It's in like 15 minutes or so, but not right now. But yeah, if I ever did a food eating challenge, like the Centurion, or anything like that, believe me when I tell you, I would not do it on. I would not use this microphone, which is very close to my mouth. I would have to use the mic on one of my webcams, probably this webcam, because the alternative is just not gonna fucking happen. Me being like, like, no, thanks. It'd be loud enough as is. Let me just, real quick, we'll be right back here. Just wanted to make sure I didn't have chocolate on my face, my mouth, because that is gross. All right, we've got some options for hands, so let's build some hands. Hey, I guess I'm glad that Alexis couldn't do that one, the GB Extra Life streams. Yeah, I watched the Centurion take place with, I've seen multiple, and I've only seen one successful Centurion. For folks that don't know, a Centurion is, in this case, the conversation, it is 100 McDonald's nuggets in 100 minutes. And some people do one per minute, like every minute a bell goes off or something, and then they eat another nugget. And other people just say, well, I have 100, let's start the countdown timer. If I could eat more in a minute, then I will. If I can't eat more in a minute, or if I need to take a break for a second, I will take a break. If I need to take a couple minutes off, and then I got to shove a bunch in my mouth. So some people do that. Other people just say it's 100 nuggets. It doesn't matter how long it's going to go. And as I said, what I say is, don't. What if you instead didn't? Because I just think, yeah, it's a bad call. I've done 30, I think is the most I've ever eaten. And I think I did 30 and 30, but it was not on a stream. That was just me doing it. That was just me deciding to feel bad by eating a lot of nuggets. I think I had a coupon, like I had like a food app coupon for McDonald's, and I decided I would do that and go and pick them up. And that was certainly not the best move I've ever made in my life, but it happens. Sometimes you make choices, and you got to live with those choices. But as I said, I don't think I'm ready to or in the mental spirit for a food, like a championship food thing. 5. Okay, we need 8 and 1 is 7. Okay. Nugget Centurion. I've set that as extra life incentive for raising $1,000. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, that's the thing, right? It would have to be, okay, I'm going to set myself a astonishing goal for extra life, and if I hit that, then I'll do this as a reward, right? That's a thing, right? Or you could do something like, hey, I've got 100 nuggets here. Every time we raise X amount of dollars, I will eat a nugget. And that's like another way of saying, like, every $20, it's nugget time. Like, that is a thing you could do. I'm not here for necessarily to do that stuff. That is not kind of like my style, but I do respect it, and I understand why people go that way and do those things, especially if it's raising money for the kids. And as I said, I am not myself doing an extra life stream this year, but I am going to make attempts to guest on at least a couple. Not sure who, not sure how many, not sure when, but if it's something I can do that isn't necessarily part of the uh, the normal, like my normal commitments for time, then I would like to do it. So we'll see. All right, I'm going to put these hands in. But yeah, we got multiple hands here. We're going to go with the ones where you can hold stuff so that we can put things in there. And we will go and see what's up. Well, let's move on. Hey, Dr. Jones, welcome. I took a whipped cream pie in the face for $500. I'll take a pumpkin pie in the face for $750. Harold, I mean, I commend you for that, for your commitment to fundraising, and for finding a thing that worked. Congratulations on that. All right, the legs here we can almost do. We can do almost all of it all at the same time, which is great. So let's do that. Let's get these legs together here. Working on our kit. You get money and eat pie when it's. What's the downside? Yeah, I mean exactly. You do subjugate yourself to a bit of humiliation, but it is on your terms, and it is raising money for charity. So that's that I think that is a fine bit of business. When I did my Twitch Sing stream for charity, it was what you could choose the songs I sang, and a lot of those songs that I put up that I would do were songs I would never want to sing because they were objectively terrible songs, and that was like my little fundraiser thing. And I think that worked out pretty good. And then this year, when I did my charity stream, which would probably be the only charity stream I do on my own this year, the goal was to raise or it was you can just pick the song that I sang, and that one was good songs and bad songs. But you could also you could just like look at the list and pick whatever, and I do it because I was like, oh, that's something. It's not the most arduous of challenges, but it was something, and we raised some money, which is good. Mr. Dave Lang, says Dr. Jones, his extra live stream is Monday, starting at 1 CST, I believe, 24 hours. Come hang out. Well, Dr. Jones, I certainly will make somewhat of an appearance. I do have my own stream on Monday, but of course, my stream is just for 2 hours, so I will certainly make some sort of appearance. And of course, when I see people are streaming, I will always try to retweet that and try to get the word out, especially when it is people that I know. Certainly, I always try to push that along. And yeah, it's for the kids, and this is gonna be a hard year for fundraising. The end of the year, stuff is tough. Especially with the idea of, here in the United States, it is going to be. We're not getting a stimulus this year. It's just not going to happen. So I think a lot of people were counting on a stimulus to come in, a last minute stimulus to come in, last month as is like it's kind of a no-brainer, and it didn't happen. So people are in a way, and I don't know. Whoop, my phone thought I was talking to it, and I'm not. Dr. Jones is one of Dave's mods. He whoops us when we don't advertise. No, that's okay. I think it's perfectly fine to let me know that Dave is doing that, but also because Rory put an email out or put a message out to Giant Bomb, and I'm sure their Monday email, their newsletter, will include information about it. I hope it does, but that's not the same thing as them like mentioning it on all the podcasts. Like I think on their premium podcast on Friday, they mentioned, hey, Giant Bomb's not going to do a live podcast on Tuesday. Like maybe they mentioned it on last Tuesday. I don't know if they did. They might not have decided that then. But that is like that is, harder to get the word out there, y'all, when you do it on your premium stuff. But yeah, we gotta let people know about Dave Lang doing a thing. Harold is doing 24 hours 3 weeks from today. As I said, I will not be doing my own stream this year, but I am going to make attempts to jump into some streams to help some people out, to make some appearances. Honestly, honestly, my internet connection, I just don't think will be able to handle 24 hours of stream. And I also don't think I can mentally handle that. I don't think I'm in a healthy enough place for that, so I will not be doing it. Um, I think the most I've ever streamed is 3.5 hours. Because my New Year's stream went longer last year than I originally planned. I think that's the most I've ever done. Um, and I think I was on, maybe one of the waypoints I was on for like 4 hours, but that one also included breaks. And I wasn't in charge. Yeah, when I did the save point, or the first waypoint stream, I believe I hung out longer than I originally planned to, but I didn't, it wasn't my thing. I didn't have the controller. I was just sitting on a couch chatting, so that's a different story. All right, so let's get some of these legs down. Here. There. Boop. Not to say, hey, go watch that instead of this, but I don't know if Abby keeps her VODs up, but if Abby Russell from Giant Bomb keeps her VODs up, today she played Man of Medan with Casey Malone, and I didn't watch a lot of it, but I did watch the beginning, enough to see that Abby had a hot dog costume that was a great looking costume. So you check that out because it was very good. She looked great. It was a great, weird hot dog costume. So that was cool. All right, so we got to put this on like that. I think I don't know if she's streaming tonight in costume, but Mary Kish has an incredible pyramid head costume. This is fucking really cool. The gender bent pyramid head, and it is fucking sweet as hell. So seek those photos out to see Mary Kish looking badass and creepy. It's cardboard and 3D printed spikes is how she put that together. It looks rad. It's a very cool costume. It seems like a popular costume this year is someone, Mario or Luigi or Wario, because there's a costume out there that has the mask. So the face, like the face, is a face mask, and then the hat. And that seems to be a popular costume this year because I've seen it on several different people. She showed off. That's right, she did. Lord Crashton, you're right. I was there on Thursday. That's who we went to raid on Thursday, and she did eventually show her costume during the PT stream. That's right, I was there. I often when we raid Mary streams, I don't stick around that long, because I am terrified because she plays spooky, scary games, and that's not my jam. So I usually end up ducking out pretty fast in those streams. But I was there for that, so I did see that. That's right. Yeah, it looked radical. I noticed a bunch of people are doing Halloween streams tonight, and I just want to say, cool, cool, cool. You are Pat Baer, not Pat Chicken. Indeed, Dr. Jones. But yeah, I do get it. I don't like spooky stuff. I didn't really wear a costume today, says Lashbrook, but I had to go to work, so I wore my Penta Junior Lucha face mask for the first time. Hell yeah! Hey, a Lucha mask is a costume. Just ask Alex Navarro. I will say this, folks. If you are currently a Giant Bomb Premium member, you should check out the video of at least the beginning of the hotspot from yesterday to, one, see Alex in a great Lucha mask, and two, see Brad's costume, which was Hesher Brad, which he just pulled out his hair tie and showed that he has hair that goes down to his chin now. And you just see his long gray hair go down to, and just marvel at it. Just marvel at that hair. Because, I think that, like, people were like, oh, yeah, Brad's growing his hair out, but when you see him, he has it like pulled back, and you might just think that he's slicking it back and not realize that it's grown if you haven't been like watching streams. So it was very funny to see chat just go like, "Wait, what?" Uh, I like how nobody really mentions the Rey Mysterio mask. Yes, I love that. Well, here's the thing: is this the first time this year that Alex has worn a luchador mask on stream? No, it is not the first time that Alex has worn a luchador mask on the hotspot, which they've only been doing since lockdown. So it's not that surprising. But Brad's hair was a real shocker. Yeah, no one mentioned what did you say? Buzz cut. Yeah, Lord Creston, you're right. It just grown, but he make sure he's presentable when he hits the old videos. But yeah, nobody mentioned Jeff's headband costume or Vinny's no attempt to do anything. I guess Vinny doesn't have costume pieces at easy reach in his basement, which makes sense. As I said, my original idea for my costume this year was going to be Pat Baer in a dress shirt for the second time since lockdown started, because I wore one for a friend's wedding, a Zoom wedding. But other than that, have not worn a dress shirt. So that was going to be my costume. And then my mom was like, "I think we have this. Vinny's jealous of people with hair." I mean, look, as a person that shaves his head because of bald spot stuff, I am certainly jealous of people that can grow hair without having a very obvious bald spot. I am also, as I said, very jealous of that. So, he's not alone in that. It happens. We get jealous. It's human nature. Yeah, Vinny was joking about that, but also certainly does care as well. All right, go put that there. Working on our feet here. Gotta get our feetsies done. This, as most do, it does have feet. And we are going to put that on. Okay. All right, we'll put this on there. We are going to take a pause for the cause in a little bit. I will talk about ways you can support the channel if that's something you'd like to do. As always, is another time for people to renew their subscriptions. We are at the last day of the month, so there'll be ways for you to, talk about ways you can support the channel if that's your inclination or your want. I remember Vinny's use of wigs for some of those Game of the Year skits. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you want to throw a wig on, just see what's up. Like, hey, what if I wore a wig in this? Uh, you know, uh, it's no surprise that another person that shaves his head, because now this is a man, unlike myself, this is a man that went bald very early in life, and up until he started acting in lots of things. This is Mr. Paul Scheer. You may know Paul Scheer from Human Giant or How Did This Get Made? NTSSF SUV or whatever that one was called. Various things. The League. Paul's been in a bunch of stuff. But Paul wears a lot of wigs and stuff. If he is in a production, Piranha 3D. Paul was he on Animal Talking last night? Oh, that's rad. I haven't been paying attention. That's awesome. Paul wears a lot of wigs in things because he started going bald at a very young age, and then he rocked the like sides and back clean short for quite a while. But yeah, when he can you see him in wigs if he's in a professional production where he can have people like do the work. It'll be in a lot, but there were a lot of Human Giant sketches where Paul had luxurious looking hair. All right, and there, and all right. Oh, these legs bend, which is great for its transformation, which is a cool thing. But yeah, I didn't know that Paul was on Animal Talking. That's awesome. A great dude. Beep. All right, so we got our legs done. Let's finish off our legs here and combine them, and then we'll be body complete. Then we'll start working on the weapons, and then we'll start working on the core. But let's finish the legs here, and then we will take our paws, because the legs are like a couple pieces, so not too bad. And then we'll take our paws for the cause. And of course, anime conversation is coming up, so you don't want to miss that. Talking about some shows. I finally watched a show I have not seen yet because I kind of bounced off the first episode, but people won't stop talking about how good it is, so I started watching it, and I'll talk about that and some other stuff that's going on in the world of anime and all that. Unfortunately, due to circumstances, I could not watch the new Chinese animated show that's debuting on Funimation. I think it's not coming out now until later in this evening, so I will hopefully talk about it on Monday. But I did want to check it out because it is, as far as I can tell, the first licensed Chinese animation on Funimation, and also I think Crunchyroll. I believe before now, to legally watch any Chinese stuff, you had to I think some Tencent put up like King's Avatar on their YouTube, and you could watch that with English subtitles. And I think that was the only legal way. Everything else was very illegal. So this is a new thing. And I think today was the first episode of this partnership, and I meant to watch it but couldn't because it was not out yet. And I will check that out because that's cool. I forget the name of that, the Chinese name for it, because it's not anime. You don't want to say it's anime. I mean, it is, but it isn't. So you want to call it what it is. You want to be proper. So I do want to check that out because that's a cool thing. When I check out AniChart lists all of those shows, and sometimes I'm like, well, this just looks like whatever. And sometimes I look at it and I go, damn, that looks neat. There have been a few productions that have been a joint venture between China and Japan, because obviously there are Japanese studios, or there are Japanese companies that hire Chinese studios to do work for them. But this is like the first solely Chinese product to be on Funimation. Also, I will say this: word has it that Sony is looking to purchase Crunchyroll, or Crunchyroll's parent company, Evolution. We don't know. So also purchasing Verve, and that sounds awful. It was one thing when Funimation, because Sony owns Funimation, Sony bought Funimation. It was one thing when Funimation had a partnership with Crunchyroll. That did definitely benefit people because you could have one subscription and check everything out. Sony controlling all of the anime outside of Netflix and Amazon Prime's poor offering, Amazon's poor few choices here and there. That's a nightmare scenario. Sony having a controlling interest in all U.S. U.S. and also other countries in the world as well, because they don't just do U.S. stuff. They do international. They do German dubs and Russian subtitles, and they do Spanish language subtitles, and they're an international company. So that is kind of worrisome if that sale goes through. That's could be tough. Because who knows what Sony says to Funimation, how detailed it is in that and what it controls. There are shows that are licensed on Funimation that are also licensed on Crunchyroll. There are shows that are licensed on Funimation that show up on Hulu. I don't have behind the scenes information for y'all. I don't know. I just know the idea that one mega corporation owning Crunchyroll and Funimation sounds bad. That just sounds bad for consumers. All right, so we got our core unit, and you're like, Pat, even for a high grade, that's tiny as shit. Well, so this is from Gundam Build Divers Redive, and the idea is this core unit can have a bunch of different armor that attaches to it. This is because this is the Uraven kit, so it's the Uranus Armor is going to attach, which is its whole thing. Kind of see it there. It's a whole piece, and then all the components come apart and go and attach to it, and it's a whole damn thing. But we're going to get to that soon. We got to build weapons for this too. But let's take a pause for the cause, folks. Let's take a moment to just talk about ways you can support the channel if you'd like here on our holiday show. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber, why don't we throw the Bear Cave the Leg of the Scythe emote in the chat? Let the people know that you are a subscriber, because maybe you use Cash Money every month. Maybe you use your Prime Gaming token because you have Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch and you choose to use that token with me. Or maybe you were gifted a sub because we had 22 gift subs this month, which is a record for us. So maybe you were gifted a sub. Now, gifting subs is a great way to support what I do here. Letting somebody else in the chat have a chance. So it is a cool thing. Harold, I will get to that. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, bits and coins, always appreciated. Dr. Jones, thank you so much. Dr. Jones says, maybe you bit some bitty bits. Yes, I do bit some bitty bits. Thank you so much for that. And Harold cheering 100 bits as well. I'm going to give you your separate applause. Thank you so much. That is so generous of y'all. I appreciate it very much for that. Bits and coins are always appreciated. Gifting subs is a great way to help what I do. Subscribing on your own, that is an awesome way to support what I do here. Because everything I make through Patreon, which I'm going to talk about in a second, my Twitch, and direct donations goes directly into me buying model kits. The other work I do, pay my other expenses. This stuff just goes into that. Speaking of which, I have a Patreon. Now, if you want to join my Patreon, because $5 a month on Twitch is not something you want to do, but you'd be interested in perhaps doing something on Patreon and doing $1 or $3, because I have smaller tiers. And if you're just joining us, I'm doing my break here. We're at my commercial break, as it was, where I promote myself. I will be getting back into model kit building in a moment. Ooh, I want to fix my bow tie there. But I will get back to model kit building soon. This is just me kind of explaining ways you can support the channel. But I have a Patreon. I would say join my Patreon tomorrow, because it will be November. And that is another way to support what I do, is to join the Patreon, patreon.com/PatBaer. $1, $3, $5, $10 tiers. And yeah, you should check that out. Also, direct donations, if you want to do a one-time donation and have it be separate from Twitch, separate from Patreon. But I have a PayPal, I have a Coffee, and I have a Streamlabs donation link. And all of those, while they, during the streams, you send money to that, goes me to buying model kits. As I said, my backlog of model kits right now is 2 master grades after I'm done with this. That is because it's just the time of year. Also, my Gohan kit was supposed to be mailed out here. Harold, actually, we'll jump to that. USA Gundam Store. Harold bought gift cards to USA Gundam Store. I used that money that Harold sent me to pre-order this kit. And unfortunately, that kit was originally going to be shipped in October. It's been delayed till November. That's a bummer. But that does mean sometime next month I'm going to get Ultra Gohan / Future Gohan, which rules. That's going to be a cool kit. But yeah, you go to that site, you buy a gift card, it sends your email, then you send me the code through a DM on Twitter, because my DMs are open, and just say like, hey, here you go. Because some people don't want to use Amazon, which I understand. But I have an Amazon wish list. If you buy something on that wish list, it comes to me in the mail. And anything bought through USA Gundam Store or my wish list jumps my queue. So the stuff I'm working on, well, when it's time to build a new kit, I go into what has been bought off my wish list, because that is you gave money for me to build something, I'm going to build it fast. I've got inexpensive Lego sets. There's a pre-order that I believe the pre-order ends at the end of November, so you won't get, if you pre-order this, you won't get charged until it goes through, which is the Rayquaza model kit. It is a model kit of the legendary from Emerald Rayquaza, which is just a fucking rad, cool Chinese luck dragon. I've got brickheads of the Mandalorian and the Child that I put on there. Another Pokemon in there as well that's not pre-order. You can just get some. The PlayStation model kit is in there. We did the Saturn. This is the PlayStation one. I like to do that. Some high grades, some master grades, some real grades, all kinds of stuff. At the very bottom, there's some tools that would be helpful for me to use that you could pick up, including a ring light, which would be, just help out the room, help me be brighter, put everything into focus better, just stuff. But you pick some of there. Hey, Mr. Bob, welcome, welcome. I'm doing my ad break, and then we'll get back to building. But welcome, happy Halloween. Let's see. I have a Discord. You can join my Discord. It's free, and you can just hang out in the Discord. There's a free thing for y'all. We'll get back to building very soon. Just want to get through these video links that I want to share. First one is to Pat Baer's Anime Club. Pat Baer's Anime Club Pet Peeves 2. It is a video where I talk about my pet peeves. So you can join and hear all about what's bothering me. It's pretty light, except for the last one, because that's, I guess, what I do in these videos. So there's that. Baering the List. Speaking of anime, this week's Baering the List is I did a definitive ranking using TierMaker of the name changes in JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Part 1 through 4. Specifically, the music-related names that were changed because of copyright. So if it's like, sometimes it's like Echoes, which is the name, which is a album title, and it's changed to Reverb, which is just a term. Or like it is Captain, instead of Captain Tennille, it's Captain Dragon. And what do I think of all those? Oingo Boingo is changed, like Terrence Trent D'Arby is changed. And it's just looking at that and seeing like what was changed and what was there, and I'll give you a hint on one of these. One of them that I really liked, I won't say what rank it got, but I really like it, is changing the name Bad Company to the name Worse Company. I love it. So that was a request. Someone requested I do that, and I'm very happy I did because it is utter nonsense. I'm gonna drink a little water. We're gonna get back to building. I'm gonna talk about some anime that I watched in the past couple days because it is good to talk about those things. I like to talk about those things. And we'll get back to building real quick. Let me go back to there, and I'm gonna put in this link. And then I'm going to drink a little water first, and then we'll talk about all of the anime I watched. Okay. And, of course, go back to... So we have our kid here, our little friend, our core fighter, because we got to pull the armor on. So the core fighter is one of the smallest high grades I've ever built. But then we have to... But when it puts armor on, it's going to look like a regular old high grade. So we'll do that. But first, we have to build the weapons that come with it. I'm also going to talk about anime I watched since Thursday. So, this week's episode of I'm Standing on a Million Lives focused on Kusei, who is the girl. She is the warrior class, but she has basically been pretty useless here. She's been a lot of the heart of the show, but not much in the action because she, in real life, is very weak. And we find out in this episode that the reason she's going into medicine is to cure her illness, or to look for a cure for her illness, but also to help her mom, who has the same illness. But her safety net, her basically premised life, it was built on, I'll study hard, I'll work hard, because this illness keeps me from doing things, but I have a safety net. Well, the game nightmare world they're in takes that safety net away. And I will say this about that. This episode is focused on her, even though it's characters in this alternate world and they're quote unquote not real as far as we know, it still really affects her. The violence that she's a part of, the fact that she kills a monster in this episode, uh, it really she kills a kobold. It really does like weigh on her mind, and it is an interesting juxtaposition um, to you who hides it way better, and to Yusuke who these people's lives don't matter to him. His own survival matters to him because he is a sociopath. Um, and we do get a little bit more of him, like weighing his options, wondering if this is a quest. The only reason he really wants to. Later, they help some people that are being attacked by some big old kobolds, and he kind of realizes that, like, well, this the only reason he really wants to help them is this could be a quest, uh, and that's an important thing because their quest right now is to travel, or it could have been an event, I should say. Their quest is to travel and bring the goods to the city, but they still don't know what the goods are. Well, we find out what the goods are. Wait, is that 6? Um, we find out what the goods are. The goods are. Oh, okay, so it goes like that. Got it. I got to put a sticker on this, and it confused me for a second, folks. Um, there are people. The people they saved are heretics that are being sent to the outskirts of this area, and then these soldiers that they also helped save are going to execute these people in front of this city or this area as a show of force, I guess. And the heroes are left wondering, are we supposed to help these people out? Are we supposed to save them? Are we supposed to help make sure they get there to do this? And they aren't sure what they're supposed to do. They don't want to fail the quest because failing the quest would kill them all. So they don't want to fail it. Their deaths will become permanent. So they're not sure. Also, before I move on from this show, which I understand if people aren't watching because it's not the best by any stretch of imagination, but it's an isekai. I like isekais. I also like that the main character has so far zero redemptive qualities. I do enjoy it. That interests me. I don't know if I enjoy it, but it interests me. But I do want to point out a thing that I thought that this was going to be, because it's right now we have 4 characters from Earth who are teleported into this game world. And I assumed there were going to be 5 because the opening animation featured 5 characters. The 5th character, who we got introduced, Kaval, we got introduced to her last episode. She continues to be completely sadistic, and that is a weird, interesting choice. She is definitely a knight because she enjoys hurting things and being justified in doing it, and that is weird. And who knows what's going to come of that? But one of the reasons why she wanted to help train the heroes is because you can murder a hero and they come back. So she likes that because she can keep fighting them, and that's fucking weird. And it adds some dimension to this show. And now to jump to something completely different. Rail Romanesque. Rail Romanesque is about artificial created young ladies who work on the railroads in a fictional version of Japan that still also that has rail lords, these girls, but doesn't have. But the railroad industry is in trouble. And the solution to the railroad problems is apparently coming up with better marketing. So that's the whole point of the show is these railroad girls are meeting to discuss ways to improve, to make merchandise, to like advertise their train lines. And again, I don't know what the fuck's going on with the show, but it's cute and seemingly harmless, and I'm kind of interested in it. The first half of this episode was one of the girls is from a very old train line. She's one of the oldest trains, and her area is known for quilting. So their merch is going to be quilted oven mitts. Like, oh, they're oven mitts. Even conductors can throw coal with them. Okay. And then we meet the rail lord that we met in the last 2 episodes, the one that loves bugs, and the rail lord that doesn't, and they have a cute moment because the one that doesn't like bugs seems to also attract bugs. So the one that likes bugs is like, hell yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Um, Again, it's a weird show. I don't know. It's 3.5 minutes. If it was 22 minutes, I don't think I would keep watching it, but it is pretty cute. So I'm going to stick with it because it's, like I said, it's pretty cute. And I kind of want to see where it's going. Uh, with a dog and a cat, every day is fun. This is a 90-second show. Y'all, if you have Crunchyroll, if you don't have Crunchyroll, just watch the ad. You're going to see one ad to watch this show. Watch it for free. You'll be a week behind. It is adorable. I highly recommend it. It is just a super sweet, silly little show. The dog knocks over a food container because one time the dog knocked over the food container and food came out of it. So now the dog always does that just to see what happens. And then the cat gets results. The cat always manages to get food when it needs it because that cat is kind of a monster. And then the second part is they ripped open a snack bag and the dog is guilty even before the dog can get yelled at, but the cat is hiding, so it cannot be yelled at. And she's like trying to find the cat because she knows she can yell at the cat because she feels bad yelling at the dog because the dog is preemptively apologizing. So she feels bad yelling at it. And that's the episode. There are some very good shorts this season. This is one of the ones that is very good. I just think it is cute as hell, and I love it. With a dog and a cat, every day is fun. It's just a great little show. So I would check that out if you're looking for something fun on Crunchyroll. As I said, you don't need to be a subscriber. You can't watch this week's episode, but you can watch all the previous ones. So you should do that. All right, now we're getting into some sports feels. Y'all, this episode of Iwakakeru, Sport Climbing Girls, there was some drama. There was some sadness. There was some determination. And there were some new characters. A whole lot of stuff happens. Basically, we have a flashback. Because we knew that pretty recently, Sayo and Nono started this club. But we didn't really know too much about their relationship. Well, apparently, the reason that... Ooh, this is the wrong piece, so I'm going to put that aside. I put the wrong piece. This is the piece I needed. Made that pretty obvious when I went to go put attach a part, and there was no way for that to work. So, apparently, Sayo has always wanted to do this, and Nono got involved because of she realized that she's like, oh, I like this, and also she kind of got swept in it with Sayo, her friend. So she got involved because of that. So we learned that. In this competition, this is the prelims. There are 8 walls, and you can fail each of them up to 5 times. But if you want to redo, you have to join the back of the line because everyone's kind of competing at once. And the top 20 move on to the semifinals. So immediately, Nono runs into some trouble because of her height. And she has some issues with several of the courses. We find out the name of the girl that Konomi used to do ballet with that last week, like, basically was just like, I'm your rival from that time. And then Konomi was like, I don't really remember you, but okay. Well, we find out that her name is Oba. And she uses her ballet, like, moves to climb and is very graceful. And there's some other characters we saw. The bunny, the creepy bunny girl is there. The panther, the Black Panther girl, which is a weird nickname that I wonder if they dub the show, if they will call her something else. Also, they will just call her Panther because it is weird that she is called the Black Panther, who is a girl that is very pale and has white hair. But whatever. Um, Konami solves one of the climbs before anyone else does. Konami ends up moving on to the semifinals. This is her second event ever, but she's moving on to the semifinals. But unfortunately, all right. So wait, how does this work? Sorry, I gotta figure out how this goes. But unfortunately, Nono does not move on, and she takes it very badly. She is very sad, very upset, and we get a little touching scene between Seo and Nono of them like kind of having their moment together. It's a very touching moment of their friendship, and then June and Konami, both of them qualified. You see them pumped up and ready to go. They are fucking ready for this. They're gonna do this for the senpai. And it's like a good, like, that's the end of the episode, them being like, all right, get a game face, like, ready to go. And so that was nice. That was a nice little bit. This is fucking sports anime. This is like, I gave it my all and it wasn't enough, but I'm glad I did it. Like, there's some bad people in there. There's a girl who's obsessed with her abs and abdominal strength. And there's another one. Because we've only heard about the samurai who, for some reason, they translate as the stormtrooper, but she is the stormtrooper, which is just a weird translation choice, but I kind of love it. But she's just like, her whole gimmick is that she does like very common moves, but she's very proficient in them. But her goal is, I'm going to set the standard for the rest of people on my team to surpass me, which I just think is a cool thing. But I hope that there is a respect among them because she just seems rad. So that's Sports Climb Girls. Sports Climbing Girls, I should say. And the last show I watched is, now I'm not up to date, so no spoilers. I'm not up to date on the show, but I did finally watch the first 2 episodes of, because I think they're up to like 5, because it was one of the first shows that came out. JUJUTSU KAISEN. So, I initially passed on this show because it felt way too much like Bleach. And it does feel like Bleach. The main dude, what's his name? Yuji, does remind me a lot of Ichigo. Now, imagine that if you're familiar with Bleach, imagine that Ichigo, he's trying to unlock his powers, he's trying to do the right thing. Imagine also that his powers wanted to take over his body and control his body and do whatever they wanted, which was bad things. And that's Jujutsu Kaisen. So there's some humor to it. There's a lot of like training and trying to get better. He's a good boy. Basically, he curses himself in order to save people, which is very, heroic of him. And basically, instead of being murdered, he's like, because he swallowed a cursed item, he's like, let me fight other monsters and fight other curses before you kill me. And so they're going to do that. Now, here's the thing. If Sukuna, which is the demon, he swallowed one of Sukuna's 20 fingers, because this guy just was a 4-armed demon, which is cool. It's cool. Anyway, he swallowed one of the fingers, and now he's being possessed by him. Sometimes, if that happens all the time, where like, if the thing is fun, oh, now they're doing stuff. Oh, Yuji's in over his head. Time for Sukanu to take over, and then he gets like whatever. Then someone's gonna go in and suppress him. Like, that will get old very fast, and so I'm not interested in that. I would prefer that not be the case. But I don't know. Like I said, I have not gotten there. I know there's a whole character that is very important that I haven't met yet. So I think I'm going to pick this show up because it is cool. I think the animation looks really good. So I do want to keep checking that out, and I do have plans to do that. Let's talk about this kit, which is now body complete and weapon complete. Pretty much. There's a stand for it, which I'm not going to worry about building. But we'll go through the transformations on this kit. As I said, there is the whole core unit. I do want to point out that this shield sucks ass. Can I say that about this? Because the shield is clearly just so it can transform, right? This is like, I thought that people talk shit about the wing shield from Gundam, with the wings, original one which transforms and thought that that was lame, and clearly that was just part of a plane. But this is definitely just part of the plane mode that they were like, yeah, it's a shield. You can also do a transformation. I'm going to take a photo of this before I transform it. Let me just get a photo of it looking like this, and then I'll show you, before we do the full transformation, I will show you what it looks like to put it as a backpack. There, got it there. Reminds me of the Zeta Gundam. Yeah. But it's just the thing where I'm like, you could just do this part of it and it would be fine. You don't have to do it holds a weapon part. Like, I think you could skip that and it'll be fine. This hand came apart, so let me put the other hand on. One of these. This one. Great. Just do that. It comes with a little stand. I'm not going to worry about the stand, but so you can do it like this, or you can you take this part off here, and then this goes down slowly, like this goes like this. That goes like that, and then this goes in like that. And then you can put that on here. And, oh, also, before I even put that on, because of the way this kit assembles, this thing has a butt hole. It's just got a hole right there. It's got an empty spot there. That's just weird. It's got a butthole. This part doesn't hold on very well, which is also annoying. But yeah, this covers this, and you can use it like that. And then it's just got a big old tail. So it either has a weird-looking shield, or it's got a strange-looking tail. So I'm going to take a photo of that. Which is just a strange, it's just a strange thing. And now I will, oh, these pieces come out, and then that could be the blade, but whatever. I will show you how to make this the core fighter, which this comes off, this comes off. All right. So take this gun off here. These twist. I will say, this does not look great when it's done, so don't worry. If you're like, oh, Pat, that looks very bad. Yeah, it's gonna. Okay, so this goes like this. These go in like this. And then this goes. All right. These never look good. These transformations never look great. So bear with me as I try to get this going here. All right, so then this is going to go like that. And then this goes on this part here. Like that. Which is the whole reason why this the plane part is like that. Is so that you can do this transformation. And then this goes here. And it just looks like it's just like crumpled up and hanging out so that you can do, oh, I did mess up. I will admit I did mess up. These go back. Like that. Okay. But yeah, this, like, look at that. It looks, from the top it looks all right, but when when you look at the bottom of it, like, it just looks painful. It looks uncomfortable. Let me build the stand part here just to show this part here. But yeah, I think this looks kind of silly. I do like how this comes together, because this was all just one little part for that, but and let's see. And then that goes in to a peg here. Oops. I don't like how that looks. Try the other way. No, does that one work? Okay. Try like that. Nope, that's not how I want to do it. Sorry, folks. Just take a second. Nope. That? Yeah, okay. I guess we gotta do it like that. There we go. So now that's in the flight mode, which, as I said, I don't think looks great, but it looks all right. But we'll take a photo of that. And okay. Now what we can do is we can build the Uranus Armor, which we can start, or the Uranus Armor. I think I'm going to go with Uranus Armor. So we got our ship here on its stand, and now we can build armor. So basically, the same way this transforms, this thing starts as a plane and comes in, and then we can take off the components of it to then put on the other thing. So we'll get some of that started. We're not going to get super far into this because we do have we are going to wrap up in a bit, and we will go and raid. We'll find somebody who's doing something on Saturday night. Now, will it be spooky? I mean, probably. We'll probably end up on a spooky stream because I think it would be difficult to not end up on a spooky stream. But you know, we'll try to find something cool. At the very least, we'll find something fun and go and hang out. But yeah, so basically, the way this show has the thing is because it's in the digital world. You can get satellites will send down a thing which has components on it, and that armor will go over your armor, and it's just like extra armor, and that's pretty cool. I like the idea of that. I think that's pretty neat. And we will go and put on some stickers. Gotta get some stickers on this thing. But this does look, I think, pretty neat, and then goes on, and then it's separate because it looks like this looks like a ship, like a spaceship, like a proper spaceship, and then just has, and then the components come off and get added on, and I think that's cool. Also, by making this core unit, it allows them to make other armored sets like this and just reuse the core. So you can either buy the other ones. I'm sure they'll put some of them out just on their own and some of them with the same core unit. I am not super familiar with Build Divers Re-Rise or Build Divers or any of it. As I said, the Build series and its many branches are things that I tried watching Build Fighters. No pun intended. I tried starting that series and kind of fell off of it. just didn't really hold my interest. And I have seen zero of build divers. I thought originally, no joke, this is not a joke. I thought originally that build diving meant that it was a series of Gundam fighters that were all underwater. But no, it's diving like diving into virtual reality. And I think that's less cool. Maybe the show fucking rules, and I'm wrong. But I think a whole series of underwater Gundam fights sounds way cooler than whatever VR shenanigans is happening. But, you know, like I said, I could be totally wrong. And I'll admit, I'm coming from a place of ignorance when it comes to the show. I have not seen it. I cannot tell you if it is cool or not cool. But I can tell you that I have not watched it. Maybe it's rad as hell. It's dope and rad. I do not know. Alright. You can only put so many photos up on at once, or on Twitter, at least in one image, so I don't think I'm going to include that. Just a Gundam show full of water sports, yeah. So I won't put photos of this up until Monday. My next build stream is on Monday, folks. If you were like, Pat, are you going to take Monday off? No. I'm not going to take Monday off. I'm not going to take Wednesday off. My next build stream will be Monday. I will be continuing this kit and then starting one of the master grades I have in my collection. So either the RGM or the Camphor. And I think I'm going to start with the Camphor because I've had the Camphor longer. I'm not going to put a poll up yet because it's just the two options. I'm just going to pick the one I want to start. They're both from 2000s. But I think I'm going to do the Camphor because, you know, this one's fine. It's a fine kit. But I think the Camphor just looks cool as hell. And I kind of want to put that together. It's got that mind whip. And I believe I can't remember. But I do love that it just has, like, just holes. Just lots of just spots for stuff. And it's a good blue color. So I think that's going to be the next thing I work on when this is done. Because I can't imagine this is going to take too long to do all this armor. So I think we'll get to that. Does the GM come with a shotgun? No. I don't think so. I can't remember. But I don't believe that the RGM comes with that. It does come with a machine gun and a shield that I've always really loved. But yeah, both those kits are from the early 2000s. I think one is the year 2000 and one is the year 2001. So one of those two will be the next thing I build. But we will be finishing this kit up on Monday. It might take the whole stream. I don't know. We do have some stuff left to build with this. I haven't built one of these core fighter like armor things. And then we also the thing I like is not only does all this armor from this stuff add on there, so we'll put it all on. It has to go on here and also come off pretty easy. Oh, I really like this crown that goes over it. I think this crown just looks rad. So that'll go on top as well. Oops. Okay. B1 and 2. So yeah, I haven't 100% decided what I'm going to build next, but I think I'm just going to make the choice. I probably will wait till Monday and just go like, what do I want to do? Yeah, as far as I know, nothing's coming from my wish list. As I said, at some point I'm getting that Gohan kit, so I will be making some purchases once the I'm kind of waiting for my Patreon funds to come in, which I'll have access to them probably Tuesday because getting the funds, I'm going to try to transfer it on Sunday when all the funds come in, but because it's a Sunday, that does make things difficult sometimes for processing. But I will be making some purchases off my Amazon wish list, things I would like to build, and so I do encourage folks that, if they want to, they certainly can buy stuff off my wish list for me to build on stream. But of course, that is purely an option that you have, but it is not something you are ever required or expected to do. But if you see something on my Amazon wish list and you're like, Ooh, that would be fun if Pat built that. Feel free to pick it up. Would love to, this kit I've had for quite some time, a couple of months, I believe, because people were sending stuff, and then some of the things that I pre-ordered myself in the past came in, and that became the priority, was building those things. So I did not have the ability to build, or the time to build this. So I'm happy to work on it, but I also love it when I have to be like, oh nope, can't build this. People sent me things. All right. The weird thing about this is obviously these pieces, not weird, obviously, these pieces are part of the frame, but are going to come off to go on this. So it is an odd thing where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm putting this all together, but like, then all of it comes apart, which is an interesting element to it. It's like, oh yeah, it's like, well, these doesn't really hold on too tightly. Well, it can't be too tight because it has to be removed. It's an odd little thing. Yeah, we will wrap up in a couple minutes, and we are gonna raid. I'm gonna find someone for us to go give some love to and give a raid to. But I want to get a few more components of this done, and then we will move on for the night. And yeah, Wednesday stream. I want to promote my Wednesday stream. It is another live recording of Pat Baer's Anime Club. It will be the following Monday's video. But I'm going to record it live with an audience, and it is my the fall 2020 anime check-in. It is just looking at the shows that are out this season and what I'm watching. I will be talking for the first time about series that I kind of watch on my own time and I don't cover here as a streamer. So I'll be talking about those. Yeah, talk about all the shows that I watch and where I'm at with them and kind of giving my impressions of them. Talk about the shows I dropped, talking about the shows that I haven't gotten to yet that I would like to see. Yeah, I think that'll be pretty cool, and I hope you can check it out. But that'll be Wednesday, and yeah, I'll be talking about all the shows that I am watching. And I will remember this time to include a Nightbot command for AniChart, the website I use to look at upcoming anime releases and their descriptions or current releases. But I figured I haven't done in the past and I neglected to do that, so I will have a Nightbot command so that when people are like, what site are you using? I can be like, this one, which I think is helpful. All right, so what else did I need to put on there? Oh, I missed one. I can't wait to take this off, y'all. I have gotta go. Wristband's gotta go. Have a good evening and Halloween. Happy Halloween, Wristband. Thanks for being here. We only got a couple minutes off of the stream, but I appreciate you hanging out. Yeah, have a good evening. Yes, we will be wrapping up ourselves in a moment or two and going and raiding somebody else so that you can keep the party going. Also, reminder, folks, if you have like a watch or a clock that is not connected to the internet, daylight saving stuff wraps up tonight, and it falls back. This is probably not, like having it on Halloween would have been really cool for people if they were out partying because they're like, oh, 2 a.m. becomes 1 a.m. again. It's the second 1 a.m. Hell yeah. And you don't really get that now, or at least you shouldn't get that now. The spookiest of all tricks, indeed. But yeah, make sure you update your clocks and stuff if they're not connected to the internet. So you can keep an eye on your devices and you know that what time it is. Oh yeah, so this doesn't really go on that well. Okay. And then this goes here. Yeah, so this is basically like, you can tell this armor, like that's going to be the back of the kit. Like all this purple stuff is going to come off this thing and attach itself to the main unit. But yeah, we're going to wrap up there, and we're going to go and do some raiding, and then we will kick back in with this kit, and build the rest of the Uranus armor in a future stream. But we have to go and raid somebody cool. I'll find someone. Hopefully, generally, I try to pick people who are on the West Coast because the idea is that they will be streaming for longer. But that isn't always the case. Sometimes they end up, unfortunately, sometimes they end up wrapping up immediately after we're done. Well, I know exactly who we're going to go raid. We're going to go raid Danielle Riendo is streaming on her channel. Danielle does, and she's there with her partner, so we're definitely going to go to that. She's playing Animal Crossing, so we're definitely going to go raid Danielle. That rules. I hope that she's going to be streaming for a while. I don't know, but Danielle is incredible, and she doesn't stream that often, so we've got to go raid Danielle. She's the best. I miss her very much. So we're going to go raid Danielle. Feel free to come along on this raid. If not, I understand. That's okay. And I hope to see you on a future stream. On Monday, we will continue working on this armor and continue building this. But right now, we're going to go on a fun time raid. So feel free to come along. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you on another stream. Have a great one. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye.